Welcome to the Reloading Podcast on the Firearms Radio Network, presented by 4 Patriots and Patriot Patch Company. How's everybody doing tonight? So I'm going to be here for a short, so we're kind of doing a little goofy. I'm going to do the greeting, which I just did, and then I'm going to do the ad reads, and then I got to scoot because my kids are involved in something special I got to go watch. So, hey, I got that same ringtone. Awesome. But I muted my phone before we started. Anyway, so so remember to swing over to Patriot Patch Company, patriotpatch.co.
Testing.
We have audio. Yay, we have audio. It's not the best audio, but it'll work. So here is the May patch of the month. The June one is in the mail. It is foolish and wrong to mourn the men who died. Rather, we should thank such good men live. George S. Patton. So, May, like I said, May they do a Memorial Day themed patch. So, make sure you swing over there. Jake and Ryan, been sponsors of the show for a long time. Put out some awesome stuff. Not just patches. They also do custom work. So, next up is 4 Patriots. So some people have heard of 4 Patriots, some people haven't. They are a survival company, not just food, but they've branched off into other things. One of the things they've got is the new Patriot Power Generator 2000X. It's a solar generator that doesn't install into your house because it's portable. You can take it with you, even use it inside, but it's powerful enough for your phones, medical devices, or even your fridge. And right now, you can go to 4patriots.com, use code FRN, and get 10% off your first purchase on anything in the store, including the Patriot Power Generator. You also get their famous guarantee for an entire year after their order, plus free shipping on orders over $97. And one of the things that they do is they do donate a portion of the sales to various charities. They list the charities on the websites. It supports veterans and their families. The food's... Wow, that was fun. The food's actually really good. I kind of recommend it. I've tested out a couple of them. I'm going to order up some more to try out some more and then have some on hand. But yeah, it's pretty good food. So that's 4patriots.com. Make sure you swing over, check them out. Tell them that we sent you. So tonight, Paul's going to talk about tricking out what he's done to trick out his Dillon 550 and why you should do what he's done. Shrenda's going to be taking notes like a mad woman because she has a 550 that's just plain Jane bone stock. But currently, Paul is experiencing a little bit of technical difficulties with his mic, so he's trying to get his computer to recognize his mic, and it's not playing nice at the current second, so he's going to be bopping it out. In the meantime, I'm going to turn it over to Nick, Ray, and Shrenda as they talk about what they've got going, and Shrenda has a Nike ton to talk about, so she could easily go on for like 20 minutes, so Nick and Ray probably want to go first.
I probably have the best news of all of it, though.
Yes, you do have awesome news.
You do.
So I am going to turn over to Nick, Ray, Shrenda, and Paul when he gets back. Jim might be joining. It is the first Tuesday of the month, so he's off playing at Sandley Gun Club. I hope to make it back, but I'm not promising. But I leave it in capable hands.
Spam us with videos.
I will. I'll put it in the podcast group chat. So, all right. Ta-ta. I leave it in your hands.
All right. How about you go first, Ed? You probably didn't do as much.
Oh, damn.
No, just a little bit of had a big garage sale over the weekend. Sold about 4 of Nick's guns off. So,
Bull, I know better than that. I know better than that.
Just cleaned up some old junk we had around the house, and it was a hot weekend, but we had a good weekend. Other than that, and had a quick work trip yesterday. Other than that, that's about it. So,
You guys hear me okay now?
Yeah,
it's better,
Paul.
You sound
Okay.
better. Yeah.
So,
Okay.
I have some awesome news I had a offer accepted on a house. What was that, Friday, Dad?
Yeah.
Yeah, Friday evening. I went and looked at it over lunch hour, and they accepted my offer Friday evening. So hopefully, middle of July, I'll be in. And there's a lot of cool features about this house that I'm looking forward to. Of course, gonna have a nice full reloading room in the basement, and there's gonna be a really nice bunker. That's all I'm gonna say. So
He's
I
got a
know I've already,
retaining wall. He's got a retaining wall in his backyard, so he's got a
yeah,
backstop.
yeah. It wouldn't shock me around there, Paul. Most of those people have guns in their house. It's far enough out there. You feel like you're in the country, and it's still in the Kansas City metro area, but I'm 5 minutes from cornfields, so it's a nice thing about it, and I'm excited for it. So I've already made my dad jealous about it too. So
Oh, yeah.
Well, you got to go now investigate some of them cornfields now, and start talking to some of them farmers.
I do. There's also a gun club only 10 minutes away that I'm looking at joining.
Yeah, but I
That has
mean,
300
I'm I'm
yards.
I'm thinking, that Kansas is a good bird state.
And that's the eventual plan, is to try to find somewhere and go maybe some bird hunting. But I know Sharinda's already got the hookup on that, so
I know some
she could probably
guys,
she
some
could probably hook me
gals.
up. So
Yeah,
Now,
I even know.
how far is the new place going to be from Sharenda?
oh god, an hour probably.
Maybe. No, I doubt it. Nick, I'm gonna send you my address so you can Google it. But I honestly think you're probably maybe about 40 minutes max
Well, I'm
on a
basically 2 minutes from
birthday.
downtown Bonner Springs.
Yeah, that's
So
yeah, no, not that far.
Well, that's congratulations. That's a nice uh, way to start the month off. Getting
absolutely.
a
And
new
well,
getting a new.
it was an early birthday present, which was the nice thing, because my birthday
Yeah,
was Saturday, so it was kind of a,
there you go.
a nice birthday gift for
Oh,
myself.
so
So
mom and dad bought you a house for your birthday?
No,
no,
That's awesome.
no, this is all me. I
that's
got
all
nothing
I
to
got.
sell my house back home, and so. But we've already talked about it. Being that it's a completely unfinished basement, we're going to add a full bathroom and a full bedroom downstairs, which is going to help build equity. So whenever I do go to sell the house, I'll make quite a bit more. So
Yep.
Nice, nice. Shrenda, how you doing?
I am doing good and tired.
Good and tired, huh? Okay.
Good and tired.
How's
And
your better how's your better one quarter doing?
so tomorrow he graduates out of physical therapy and occupational therapy. We got a lightweight leg supportive brace, wearing regular shoes, walking
Good,
on,
good.
well, walking, assisting with the cane and slow, steady steps. But considering he was completely paralyzed on one
Yeah,
side, I haven't told him yet. I'm real proud of his progress and his determination. I'm probably not going to tell him. I'm just going to keep nagging him
there you go.
because then
There
he'll
you
think
go.
I've been body snatched if I start being all sweet and stuff. And
Oh,
then what? Yesterday I had phase two of many. I think you guys know, but I'm having reconstructive dental work done because my genetics, thyroid cancer, and no side effect from radiation. My teeth eventually have dried out and shattered. Not all of them, but some of them. So I'm getting them. Told the dentist I don't want to save something that I'm going to have to come back and do this 10 years later. So I'm having permanent, a partial and permanent put in. But
okay.
because
So
I
you're
have an
having some
over,
implants in that? Yeah. Okay.
yeah, but they have to shift my jaw because I have an overbite,
Ah,
and I have to
okay.
get retainer dentures to help with that. And so anyway, it's my dentist is wonderful. Both times I've gone so far, it didn't. I fell asleep the first day he was in there doing stuff. I fell asleep yesterday, and then when the Novocaine wore off, felt the pain from my jaw being open for 3 hours, but I slept on pain meds, woke up, popped some, and I have to keep telling myself I have stitches in my mouth because I have no pain. So this guy's got the magic touch. Magic touch.
Are they putting the screw-in bases in for the?
So my teeth that were good, I have one crown on for an anchor. That'll be an anchor, and then I'm having another one put in that'll be an anchor, and then my bottom teeth, which they've already fixed, will be an anchor. It's almost $10,000 worth of work.
Ooh,
So I ask no questions. I see the progress, and he's pretty good. He's like, well, while you're numb, I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. I'm just like, have your strong J moment, sir. Do what you need to do. So I'm excited
Well,
about that.
I know you'd be excited about it, but I'm sitting there going, I'd love to get a little bit of dental work done, and with the medicine that I'm on now, they won't let me. So,
Yeah. Well, I had to
you
get
know,
approved to get mine because they had to verify what kind of radiation I had because that depends on how
ah,
they do the procedure. So it wasn't like, oh, okay, we'll just do it. It was a whole ordeal. Like I was almost crying thinking they weren't going to be able to do it, but I'm good.
wow,
And then I did Appleseed this weekend, and I'm excited. I didn't get my rifle patch, y'all. I was 10 points short, and I was
oh,
so happy because I didn't even think I was going to do that good.
good,
And I probably
good.
would have got my patch, but we all decided we wanted. It got so humid and so hot that we were like, let's cut. It was only one of my friends when there was only two of us there, and everybody was looking at me like, "Do you want to call it, or you don't want anybody to feel cheated?" And I'm like, "I'll see y'all next year." Like I'm happy with my 200 points out of 210 to get my rifleman expert patch, but I had a good time. And seeing as how I only got a couple of weeks of practice in and wasn't using my own firearm, I was satisfied. It was a great weekend.
We got to ship you over one of our 22s. I got a 22 that you could use. It's
I
got a
need
Schilling
to.
barrel. It's got a Schilling barrel, a 60/24 scope on it, and a
Ooh,
Bravo chassis. So, and it's still a 10/22. You could still use it.
that's all. That's all I need. The range boss kept wanting me to take my magnification down to 4, and me kept telling him, "I don't have useful eyes, sir. Can we put my magnification back on 12?" He's like, "It should be crisp here," and I'm like, "No, it's crisp on 12. Let's put it back to 12." But
so what
it
what
was great.
position what position did you struggle with the most?
For me, it was the sitting for two
Yeah.
reasons. One, my knee, that too, but my knee used to not bend all the way,
Uh,
and it was stiff the first day. The second day it broke in, so my knee was bending all the way, so it threw me off because now I didn't have that tightness there
yeah.
that I was used to. And then I wasn't used to sitting Indian style. I didn't know you could get a Charlie horse in your stomach and your chest at the same time. So it was. I know that 10 points was when I was trying to get into position, and I was like, "Shit, the Charlie horse!" And yeah, it
Yeah.
was
Now,
bad. Like,
Surrender, with that, you can actually sit and have your knees up and rest on your knees.
do you
That's one
have
of the.
boobs, Nick?
I'm just saying that's one of the
Do
ways
you
you can
have
sit in.
boobs,
I
Nick?
don't. I don't.
Okay, that's not as easy as it sounds when you're carrying around an extra 5 to 10 pounds of flesh
Yeah.
and you can't get your arm. Yeah, I told the guys that I would love to see them have some modification boobs trying to shoot prone and sitting and see how those scores change dramatically.
You can ask my
Ray,
dad back when I
Ray,
shot.
Ray and I have this problem with prone. You know,
Well,
Prone I
prone.
did good, and the
No, prone.
CMP sitting always killed me.
yeah,
Sitting
Dad,
killed
Dad
me.
can agree. My sitting is the one that probably scored that got the worst over the years because back when I started shooting CMP, I still played sports and everything, and I was still relatively really good shape. And I was pretty skinny at the time when I first started, so I could get down in that really nice low in the sitting position. But after I stopped playing
Yeah.
sports, my worst position is offhand. I
yeah.
cannot get comfortable.
And see,
That
offhand,
rifle
I'm
bounces around, and
yeah, my offhand was my best, and prone was the most comfortable. Where I when it dawned on me, when everything started clicking together, I was like, oh, I should be taking my shot at this point. Then it was just easy to get those last 10 shots off that I needed, but yeah, and the heat does not help.
Well,
Not at
No,
all.
and
no.
it was it. Well, I'll agree with Trenda. It was super humid out here this
Yeah.
Yeah.
past weekend,
I got
and
burns from the brass where my elbow was just, you can't see them now,
Mm-hmm.
but I literally have flesh missing from the brass coming out the firearms or the brass that was sitting out there in the sun cooking that road. It was, look, every time I go to events, I always want to do things myself so nobody thinks I'm coming in being a pretty little girl that wants somebody to load my rounds in for me and make my firearm ready. Look, when them hands were extended out to help me up, I took them hands. It's hard to get up off that ground
Yeah.
at this
Hey,
Asian weight.
Nick can attest to this. I mean, he can remember I got heat exhaustion. We shot a vintage match and a CM match the same
in
day, middle of
July, and oh my
July.
gosh, we were
I
both
swear,
that way.
I
Those were
was
the
Oh,
I was
and
worst.
I took a tour at Crossbreed a couple of weeks ago, like the last show we did. I had went the 2 days later on a Thursday. So I toured Crossbreed and got to look at their products and production, and I got a custom holster because I needed an outside the waistband holster so I can get back into my pistol training. And unfortunately, I can't post it on social media because I have the one and only in the world, and they don't want inquiries about it. So I'll have to show you guys offline. But it's really driving me nuts because y'all know how I like posting my gear.
Yeah.
And it's a
Yeah.
beautiful holster, but I'm sad I can't show it. But I have been blowing them up, telling them how much I love it, telling all my friends that, but it won't be on the gram, unfortunately.
is it a prototype they're gonna release or you just
No, it's a print that they do not sell, and
oh
I
wow.
just so happened to look over and see it, and was like, "Oh, can I get my holster made with this?" And it was a, we don't sell that one, and it was a, so I could be really special and get my holster made with this, and they were like, "Oh, let's see," and yeah.
Are they
You
local, Trenda?
They're in Springfield, so they
Really? I did not
were
know
an
they were there.
hour and a half
Yeah,
away,
about an hour
hour
and
and
a half.
20 minutes away. Yeah, and so they do
Did
tours
not
for
know
the
that.
public if you're interested.
Do they do custom work?
Yes, they do.
Oh, great! Yay!
Yes, they do. But I think I probably sold their holsters more than they had to because I had to tell myself, sit down, because I was selling their stuff for them. Well, this is what I like, and this is why I like this one, and here is this. Yeah, it was, they were chuckling. I'm a fan of Crossbreed.
Yeah, I carry a
I,
crossbreed in one of my guns, so
yeah. There's ones I have. I love them. So, yeah. And I got some other stuff coming up, but I'll save that for another day because now my jaw's starting to ache a little bit. Yeah. That was it. I had a pretty, it was a it was a great weekend for 6 months of stress. So I'm excited about the next few weeks coming up too.
so what's new with you, Paul?
Oh, I was going to go out shooting this weekend, but again, the heat was too much for me. So I got roped in from my brother-in-law to load some 40 short and weak. I have to go to the dark side, guys.
Good
He,
thing Kim ain't here.
yeah, he lives in Chicago, and he can't have any ammo shipped into him. And I'm not in Chicago to get him any. Uh, to buy it, to buy it and then bring it over to him. So I just said, well, I'll just make some up for you, and my niece and nephew are coming over to stay with me for a couple of days and do a few things. And I said I'll just send it back, send 500 rounds back with them.
There you go.
So, but that's been my thing. So,
You need to have them bring you some Italian sausage to trade for that ammo.
yes, yeah. Um, really, I need some Russell's barbecue sauce.
There you go.
I've gone through my 6 bottles already, so I need. And the only thing that hurts is that I am not able to get my uh, big green egg up the steps,
Oh,
Ooh.
up to where the kitchen's on the second floor.
yeah, those are
So
heavy.
yeah, and it's an extra large big green egg, and I don't
That's
know how much it
impressive.
weighs.
Yeah, a
Yeah,
lot.
Is it
so
too big to get up there, or is it just too heavy
just too
to?
damn heavy.
Yeah, they're heavy. You should look
You
them up,
know,
Ray.
Yeah, they're like 350, 400 pounds at least.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, they're almost inch and a half of ceramic,
Yeah.
and so they're this big around. So yeah, and then plus putting it up on that deck, I don't know. So right now there's a pellet grill up there and smoker, and then a charcoal smoker up there. So that's that's my limit right now. I'm not able to do my long smokes with that. They don't charcoal's too hot. You know, with a big green egg, you can keep the temperature down. Oh, in the 165, 170s without too
Hmm.
much of a problem. You know, and in the old days, I used to have a cold smoker, and those were really nice. But yeah, that's been my thing lately.
Good deal.
So
So what you gonna show us tonight?
oh well, I think we got to look at some reloading on a Dillon 550 set up for precision. Now we're sitting there looking at a Armanoff tool head, and I'll get there in a minute here, guys. See if I can get another camera here working or not. Well, maybe not. So what we have is Armanoff tool head. These are fastened down. There are Allen screws that hold the head down so it's firm, but the dies have room to move. So with their rings and their screws that hold the die ring in. So you can sit down and you can see there's just a little bit of play in each one. And we'll put a couple of these in. And I kind of have it set up right now for 308 here.
So real quick, Paul, while you're doing that, Vin Jim's asking, do you also do your case prep on the 550 there?
Everything from sizing the case. Okay. I do not deprime. Depriming is done on a RCBS press. Priming is done with a RCBS bench mounted primer. Let's switch here and go here. And this is the RCBS primer with the Holland Gunsmith priming adapter onto it. It allows me to adjust the primer seating by two thousandths of an inch by turning this wheel here, and that way I can seat the primers very accurately. The whole setup is about $250. I know it's a lot of money, but it beats Primal Rights at $600. So the case prep, other than using FW Arms depriming tool in my press, then the cases, they're deprimed. They go into a ultrasonic cleaning to be cleaned. They get annealed, and I'm still old-fashioned. I use a flame annealer because I've had mine for a long time, and my age, I can't see spending $1,400 for a new annealing an amp annealer. So I'll keep doing it that way, and we're going to go back to the press here. So what I have set up here is this is a Redding body die for 308. I have a Forester bushing die, full shoulder bump bushing die, and I have a neck expander here to straighten the necks out if there's anything that needs to be done. This does not set the shoulder back. This just sets make sure that it's full length. The body is full length sized. So if I went in, put a case in, roll it up, go to the next one, and let's see if I can get a better camera angle on this for you guys. That better? You guys see anything there? Cases are sized with Imperial sizing wax. And just run them out now. Probably not the best view. I've tried to get another camera set up, and my system won't let me hook up a third camera. So, but let's switch over here. Anyway, so that is with the tool head allows a very accurate case sizing and keeping the neck straight. Um, there is a little bit of work that goes into the tool head, the shell plate. I grind these on a with 800 grit sandpaper and on a granite block. So there's they're flat. Dillon is getting better at it. They're a lot flatter than they were in the beginning, but still going through and flattening out and making sure there's no imperfections on the shell plate. Also, I use a ball bearing system that they sell on eBay and Amazon to um, keep things smoother. It makes it run a little smoother than just running on top of the shell plate with the bearing that's in there. So let me get I have 223 set up a little differently, but I want to show you the setup here. We have, again, arm and off, locking head, pin gauge in the first set. Here I have just um, a powder die, and inside is for 223 in there. Right now, only one funnel set up, but doesn't matter too much. You have a funnel where you weigh your powder charge through here and put it through here. Seat your bullet with a micrometer seating stem here. Again, they're locked in with the arm and off floating lock rings. I have 2 tool heads per per setup. So with 308, one's in there right now. Here's my seating setup for 308. So you have 2 of them. Again, they're floating Armanoffs, and it's a little more expensive, but it's it keeps everything straight, and your precision is there in dealing with it with the cases. You're not getting any run out on the cases that way, or keeping it to a minimum. I don't think you can be 100% perfect. Let's see what we just ran. Half a thou. That one's 1,000. So half a thousand on that one. Cases stay straight this way. Um, so we can go to change over to uh, seating bullets next. But okay, we got here. You worry about shoulder bump length. I use a Reading comp sheet holders for a few different 223s, for example. Um, I do worry about shoulder bump. I have them set so that I bump between 1.5 and 2 thousandths, which is about the best I can get out of Lapua brass on the 550. But with any of them, it's pretty much the same. They're going to be pretty close to the same as far as 1.5 to 2 thousandths, even for even with the range brass. If it's fired in your gun first time. So, um, does it speed up reloading? Yes, it working from a single stage to this, where you're basically doing 2 or 3 preps at the same time. You're going to speed up your reloading by about double what you normally would do with precision reloading. Um, you are going to have to check a few times as far as your shoulder setbacks and everything to make sure you have everything set the way you want it. And make sure when you do your shoulder setbacks, you're checking it with a full carousel of or shell plate of in your press. Don't try it and think you got it with just one one station working. I use Vimgin. I use um, generic shell holders for pistol only. Everything else is arm enough for rifle. See anybody have any questions? No? Okay. The hassles with doing this is having to take out the lock screws when you go to change over.
You're muted.
I'm muted.
Nope.
Yeah, the reason Vim Jim came back, he said the reason he's been asking, he runs a very similar setup on his 550.
Okay.
Paul, when doing a setup like this with the two separate tool heads, about how many pieces of brass would you run before you switch over?
I like to do about 200.
200?
Yeah. If I'm going to load for on this, it means I'm getting ready to do some volume shooting, and running 200 on this is like doing 100 single stage.
Yeah.
So
So 550 can do roughly 550 cases in an hour. So
hmm
you're looking at about an hour to do both, probably.
um yeah,
Maybe a little.
we'll get this set up here in a second here. So I can just turn that one over. Now I'm using a uh, Harold's precision powder measure here, and it it has a um, it's been worked over by a bench rest gunsmith, and So it throws extremely accurate charges without weighing with just the clicks.
Yeah, that was one of Vin Jim's questions. Do you have an electric scale for the powder on the second tool head?
Yeah. Um, the idea behind it is to, you gotta set this one. The ideal way to do it is with a auto trickler, a V4, or a super trickler. If you really want to get down and dirty on it, and he's got wanting to know about the DAA Mini Mr. Bullet feeder. Yeah. Um, Pain in the rear end to change over. That's all.
Yeah. Matthew Meeks wanting to know, do you clean the case lube off the cases after sizing?
After I reload completely, then what I do after they're reloaded, I'll just take a little naphtha and a towel and uh, wipe it off with that.
Okay.
Um, Vim Jim, this is the part of the parts that you get for the DAA mini case feeder, which will do 380 all the way up to 223. So you can run um, pistol without a problem in this, and it makes it nice to reload with. The hardest part with that is you remove the plate on the 550, and then you have these two using the same screws. You have these two screws that go in, and this will, as this runs up and down with the primer feeder, um, this pushes a new case in. So um, the DAA is a nice little tool um, for the 550 to increase your pistol production and 223 rifle if you're not going for um, real precision, because you could set it all up on one to do everything on with a 550. D-Dub 37, yes, we're talking about custom 550 setups. So it's the same setup with the as you're seeing it now, but with the V4 you have what 15 to 30 seconds to to throw a charge for 308, and probably 15 to 20 seconds for a 223. you can get away with the mini bullet feeder too. I can set this one up with a Hornady bullet feeder and work that way. Use a sonic cleaner too. The bigger the better. 15 liters is what I use. I don't mix it all the time unless I'm doing a lot of pistol cases, but peanut butter jars work well for small batches of cases that you fill the cleaner up, the sonic cleaner up with water, and then add your mix to the peanut butter jars and use and put those in the ultrasonic cleaner. That way you can do small batches of different kinds of brass by having a few different jars in it. Jim, how you doing?
I have to unmute myself first. Remember that? I got to learn that lesson.
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
doing all right. Just got in
Good.
from the gun club. Just got in from the gun club.
Oh, look at that fancy shirt he's got on, guys. He's got the shoulder patch there. He's out there, you know.
Recoil pad.
Recoil
And
pad, huh?
Bushnell.
Bushnell. He's
Yes,
got
sir.
the whole 9 yards.
You bet.
Yep. This is a nice safari shirt.
Thank you. I did a little something through the week. I created something. Shrinda, you can help me out with this. It's just a 3-ring binder is all it is. But if you look at the front, I found a graphic of my particular, okay, I'll be all right as soon as I learn how to handle the camera. My particular chronograph.
Is that a color picture?
No, it's black and white. I have.
Oh, damn it, cheap Jim.
I only have a laser printer. I got a color printer here, but those cartridges cost $200. Right here's a color printer.
I'm gonna mail you a color picture. Send me the print.
Okay, I can do that. Anyway, what this is chronograph data records. Now I have some blank ones in here, obviously, but I just the 8 tests I did 2 weeks ago. They're back here in the back. The ones I printed up and on the computer and all that. But the blank ones, of course, are for doing it in longhand. You can't see them. I know that, and I apologize for not thinking that sooner. This is just the same chronograph sheet I use all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And like I offered you guys copies of it. If anybody wants it, get a hold of me at FlemingJim1953@gmail.com. And well, you guys know how I am, what I am. Most of you know my email address. I never make it a secret. Thank you, Mr. Sigerson. Nice to see you, sir. That's our friend from Iceland. I got a shout out tonight, if you don't mind, Paul.
Go ahead.
I just sponsored a young man into the Sand League Gun Club tonight. My second member I sponsored into the club. His name's AJ Harmon, and he paid his dues, and he's going to start attending work days with me.
Okay.
And all that. You know, he works in the HVAC field, and he's already offered to clean up our air conditioning system. They said they don't think that they've ever had it clean. Oh, poor AJ.
Poor AJ.
20 years of dirt and grime. Somebody offered to bring in a pressure washer for him. Wasn't me. No, not me. The other thing too I need to do is I need to go around to Firefox. I promised a guy that I work with. Ricky Watt is his name. Ricky Watt. I know I'm going to send him a link for the to attend the show on YouTube.
Okay.
You guys go ahead and mill about smartly while I do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you got more people coming. You
Yep.
introduce a new person to the Stanley. What does he shoot?
Handgun and rifle.
Handgun and rifle. Okay,
Yep.
good, good. Let's keep that Second Amendment going there.
You bet. Like I said, that's the best way. Like I say every week, we have to support the Second Amendment, and that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, more shooters we get into it, the better off we are.
We need more shooters. In fact, AJ has a 4-year-old that's very, very, very interested in shooting.
Nice, nice.
But yeah, AJ will probably wait a couple years, and I don't blame him. When the child's big enough to handle a little cricket rifle, you know what I mean?
Yeah, about 6. Yes, 2 years,
Yep.
depending upon how mature he is and everything else.
Oh yeah.
That works pretty good. Um, yeah, so we were going through the 550 as far as using it to reload precision ammunition,
Yeah.
and Jim and myself use pretty much the same setup. I don't know if he uses Armanoff uh, tool heads and die holders.
Look at your banner across the screen tonight, Paul, from AJ Harmon.
You gonna
Yep.
trick him into reloading too?
He listened. That's how he found out about the San Lee Gun Club, is because of me and my big mouth, and membership at the San Lee Gun Club. He's been listening to us for years,
Oh,
even
good.
before you came along, lady. Yeah, we're going to trick him.
Cool.
He's processing brass tonight. He told me he showed some raw marks in his hand, calluses. Well, he needs calluses. Damn sissy anyway. AJ, welcome to bud. Appreciate sticking your nose in there and saying hello. He shoots an UBR.
Welcome to the party house.
Yep, prepping some 308 brass right now.
No, 30 BR brass. Okay.
Yes. I'm not sure. I would imagine 30 BR stands for 30 bench rest, but I wouldn't know.
Yes, that's what it is. He shoots an unlimited bench rest. Okay.
That's some serious business. I mean, those guys are shooting 35-pound rifles.
Yeah, they can get heavier than that. I'm not sure if
Paul, you're breaking up.
I know they have
Oh,
light and heavy, and I can't remember
Yeah.
where they can.
AJ said he's working with his little boy in Daisy Red Rider right now. Thanks, AJ. Appreciate all that, sir. Give you a star on your comments and
Jim, yeah.
I didn't think I started you that young, Nick.
Jim is thinking about using Armanoff tool heads.
I want one of his case gauges.
No, I don't think you did. I think I was more like probably 7 or
Which
8
one?
probably when we started.
You ought to look into Armanoff tool heads. They're easy to use, and they lock everything down, so you're strict. So you really are not wiggling around a lot with your tool heads, and keeps things straighter.
hold on, guys. I think we got a spectator. You want in, Mike? No, he doesn't want in.
I was just heading back home and just diving in quick to see how things are going.
Well, you got an admin on the screen now.
Paul, you sound better.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Little problem with that this afternoon, but this evening I should say. But we're working on it.
Yep. I'll be back. I'll be joining the show in about 12 minutes. I'm on my way back home now, so
All right.
I just
You want me?
was peeking in. So
You want me to kick
bye
you
bye.
out? Yep. He's gone. Anyway, so you were saying about your 550 precision. It is a known fact that we can reload ammunition single stage on a 550.
We can also do it at a multi-station with an Armanoff tool head and their floating die rings.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the idea behind it, is to be able to do three or two or three items at a time.
Oh yeah.
So you process, say, 200 cases. You're processing at two times what you're doing. You can take what it takes to load 100 cases. Um, you know, you
Twice as
can do
fast, in other
200.
words.
Yeah,
Twice as fast, right?
twice as fast, and even a little faster, depending upon how well you're set up and how your organization is. It's a little more difficult to do it here with everybody trying to watch and trying to show everybody. But I find it very satisfying knowing that I can fill a tool head up and get two or three operations done on one tool head.
Well, Paul, let me make a suggestion if you don't mind. You know the old saying about how to eat an elephant, one bite at a time. Why don't you just take it one
Sure.
station at a time, Paul?
Well,
First
no,
station,
I mean, it's to show people what's going on.
yeah,
You explain what's going on the die head, on the tool head,
yes, sir.
and then they can see how it progresses around. And that's
Good.
what I tried to show today.
Okay,
Um,
good.
I wish my third camera would have been able to work. It might have been a little bit better for everybody to see.
Good enough.
But I'm working on getting a new CPU so I can have more um, cameras
Computing
set up
power.
for it.
Yep, yep. It
I got
does take
lots
a
of
good bit of
computing
computing.
power. Yeah, I got lots of computing power, but it's on a laptop, and I'm limited on USB ports. So I want to get a tower for the room here, so I can have more ports set up.
So, Paul, the one I'm going to get for my reloading room is probably only about that big.
How many ports in the back for USB ports?
Would it have 6?
Six?
I
Okay.
don't remember.
It was either 4 or 6.
What kind of processor are you getting?
I don't remember. I can get the information. It was my mom, a guy that worked with my mom when we did her retirement party a couple weeks ago. He pulled, this was his computer. He just took this thing in the room, plugged it power in, plugged a monitor, not monitor, a mouse, and a keyboard in. It still had plenty of extra. Plus has HDMI's. Uh, yeah, and it was this.
A
Yeah,
graphic card?
yeah, a
Oh,
pretty good graphics card, and
yeah. Had like a terabyte of memory too, didn't it?
yeah, terabyte of storage,
Holy cheese.
and it's no bigger than
A six
maybe a
inch
little bit
cube.
bigger. Yeah, that thick, maybe down to about here, a square. That's how bigger
Nice.
it was. So
Paul, I don't own a 550. What's the difference between the Armanoff tool head and the Dillon Precision tool head?
Um, Let me grab a
Because
Armanoff tool
the
head.
prices are about comparable.
Yeah. See the four holes?
Yeah.
Okay. That's where you can screw in the locking die ring. Okay.
Okay.
So this it allows it to move a little bit, so everything stays straight, but the tool head itself won't move because
Okay.
that's screwed in through here. So
I see.
So the tool heads, the die rings are more expensive, yes, okay. I think they're like $19 a piece, if I remember correctly. All right.
Mr. Nelson, would you show
Yeah.
that again, please? Much better view. So the arm and off
Okay.
tool head is secured in somehow, so it
Yes.
can't move
There.
around.
Yes. Through here,
Ah,
there's you actually put a an Allen screw into there,
yes, sir.
and it locks the tool head in completely.
Okay, that takes place in the 1/8" dowel pins that Dillon provides.
Right. And
Okay,
then you take the um, the die rings that you have, and they lock into the four holes that
mm-hmm.
are there in the tool head that you screw into. So the die, the your die itself has a little bit of wiggle room. Okay,
Yeah, it would need it.
okay, so it keeps everything straight. So you're able to keep your brass in better shape as far as the uh, run out goes.
Good. Paul, what expander are you using? That's a question from Australia.
Okay, this is the um, uh, precision mandrel dies, and um, let me remember where I got it here, so I can give you a. Okay. Porter's Precision Products LLC.
Good. That's Porter,
Okay.
not Potter, right?
Porter, Porter apostrophe S, Precision Products LLC, and it'd be Porter's Precision Products.com, and then Mandrel Dies. He's got a gunsmithing setup and everything else, but they sell a complete setup for you, depending upon the caliber you're using and everything else.
Thank you, sir.
Yep. Um, I like Porters because they use pin gauges that are ground to fit, and I can order them in plus or minus. So um, uh, if I'm using what's this? This is 22, so this is a a point 222 5, and then I can be plus or minus on it. So um, they go that far into it. So you can a little more variation than Century 20, the 21st century mandrel expanders. And I like they use ER16 um, collets to hold the mandrels in. So it's basically a uh, let's see. Give me a second here, guys. Let's see if I can.
So tell me, lady, what have the wild women of Kansas been up to? Yeah, you, Shrenda, the one looking at the screen.
Oh, we a lot of bit of stuff going on. Oh, I forgot to share with y'all. I'm getting ready to go bow fishing for the first time too.
Ooh,
Jim, I was 10 points shy of getting my rifleman patch at Appleseed, and I am so happy.
Good job. Good job.
because that was
Your shooting has gotten
pretty
better.
close. Yes, and
I
if I
saw that on
had,
Facebook. I'm glad you're shooting. That's good. Keep practicing.
yeah, well, I got to get my own gun now.
That'll help.
Um, yeah, it's I got to get my own, and I got I got one person that is already planning on going next year. She won't stop. My friend that went every couple of hours. I'm buying this. What do you think about this? What do you think about that gun? Can we go look at this? And I'm like, oh my god, it's like another version of me. And my goal is to get a total of 5 women to come with me next year.
Wow.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
but
that's my
Sharenda, you know
thing.
that can multiply into 25 new shooters.
That's that's fine. That's fine.
Amen to
I'm
that.
trying to get a lot of women to see that, they may have had one bad experience, but not all organizations that appear to be male dominant are bad experience. This is my third time going to Appleseed, and each time the guys just are better and better. So let's see.
Thank you, ma'am. Hold on. I think Mr. Nelson's got something to share.
Okay. So what you get from Precision Products are with a set, you get three of these that you pick out as far as the mandrels, which you see they're ground down. They're they're centerless ground uh, uh, mandrels or pins, really. You get a
Call it.
collet. This is an ER16 collet, and you get a precision cap and a die. So you will take and very carefully from an angle put your collet in. Do not try to press it straight in. Go from the side.
Oh, yeah.
Take your mandrel.
Can you put it up on screen, Paul, so we can see? Thank you, sir.
Take your mandrel. Put it in. I like to leave about a quarter inch hanging out. Set your die up. Tighten it. Then lock it down to 50 inch-pounds.
For what you're doing, that's pretty darn secure.
Yeah. So,
Let me interrupt here for 1 second, if you don't mind.
sure.
We've got an excellent comment on screen from a guy by the name of Gene Cox. He wants to point out to Shrenda, women shooters shoot in lever action silhouette also. Anyway, please continue, Mr. Nelson. I'm very interested in that mandrel setup.
Yeah. And Paul Loud is asking, you get the starter set for 142. Yes, that's what you do. You get the starter set. So it's 142 a caliber, really. 142 for 22, 142 for 6 millimeter, on and on and on. Depending upon what you need and what you're looking to shoot. For magnums, the die body can get bigger, so they have long and extra long. This is short, so that's basically what it is, and they're not a bad. They're a good setup. You can also special order from them their carbide setup if you're doing a real lot of them. But I have not found a problem as far as if I use a little uh, Imperial dry neck lube on the cases. Um, it keeps everything pretty much locked in and smooth. I do turn all my necks on my precision brass, so that's another step in it. Can you mix and match pieces? Yeah, you can. If you just want to buy one die, you can buy different collets and different pin setups. So yeah, you can do that without a problem. And when I started buying mine, it was, oh, they didn't have it set up on the website like this. It was more along the lines of a YouTube, not a YouTube, but a Facebook setup. Call them up and put together your order what you needed. Now they're have a nice store online where it's easy to pick out stuff and pick the sizes you want. Like I say, you can do plus or minus. So if you want 222, 2225 plus or minus, you can order one plus or minus, and you can't do that with any other of the mandrel makers that I know of. They're giving you exactly what you're asking for. So at least as close to the tolerance as they can get.
Okay, very good.
Gene Cox, Ben Avery, and Phoenix return in July. Okay.
What he's talking about is women shooting lever action silhouette.
Yeah.
But evidently, there's like with Scott Kelly, who's been on this show. He's a Sass shooter, single action shooting society, but he dresses just as for the Old West. And evidently, at the end of the trail, Ben Avery, that's one to dress for the era. Hey, Mikey.
Hi. Hey, Nick, you like my hat, Nick?
I don't even want to talk. But
I gotta see this, Mike. Well, okay, what we got? What we got? Put your head down again. M?
Yep.
MD.
But this is better.
Oh, good old style.
That's right. Gonna have some dog style.
Old spit.
I didn't even know they were still brewing it.
I didn't either.
And then I was at Woodman's the other day to get some beer to boil my brats in, and I came across it in the cheap beer section. I'm like, oh, they still make it? Let's try it. And it still tastes the same.
Like
That's
garbage?
the amazing thing.
Like garbage? Liquid garbage?
No, it's not quite that bad. It's not Pabst.
Yeah.
It's not PBR, so. But this is the better thing. So this is a local ice cream joint.
What flavor?
Okay.
Sorry, Mike.
What flavor?
There.
Chocolate shop with yuck beer. That's
So
gotta be
the
for
flavor is
Herb
on the outside. Do you see the name?
Shit just got serious.
That's right.
You were shaky.
Paul Loud, I'm going to drive to Maine and kick your ass. How dare you how dare you insult dog style like that? Damn it.
That was a good one, Paul. That had to be your best.
Wow. Anyway.
So his best.
I know I missed most, but I heard you guys were talking about Sass now.
Yeah. Just to follow up on a comment from Gene Cox about end of trail Ben Avery in Phoenix, Arizona, return in July for some silhouette shooting, and evidently it's like in period lever action shooting. Ladies, it's a ladies event.
I take it, Jim, you have no idea what end of the trail is, do you?
No.
You need to do some talking with our friend Scott from California.
Yeah, I just mentioned, in fact, Scott Kelly had been on his show.
You need to spend some serious time talking to Scott and learn about end of the trail and
Sass shooting.
So one of the things I would like to get to at some point in time is they have a quick draw contest. Yeah,
I
Jim.
know a guy that competes in that, and he's quick.
Yeah,
He's,
I want to do it just for fun.
I think he's in the 0.55s is where he's at.
So to be fair, for those of you who don't know, yes, Sass, in case they didn't say, a single action shooting society. Basically, it covers the Old West for the most part. I don't remember what the cutoff years are for the guns as far as the standard set. But they do shooting competitions. Basically, they do an Old West 3-gun. So you have a lever gun, a single action, and a shotgun, which is usually either a side-by-side. Usually, I think there's one lever shotgun that qualifies, but nobody makes a reproduction of it. So unless you're lucky enough to have the original, you can't use it. So
Winchester. Yeah.
So it says, okay, I checked. It says basically single action revolvers, lever action rifles, and side by side double barrels, pre 1898-9 pumps, or lever action shotguns.
Yeah.
Gene Cox got it on there. He says you can use 1897 pump gun.
Right.
Which is how I would run if I were to get into it. That's the way to start.
And then they have the Wild Bunch, where you can run 1911s. And Gene can probably tell us. Gene's very knowledgeable. I've picked his brain before too. So, Sean from We Like Shooting actually just started to get into Sass. So, but
holsters are expensive.
Can be.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, guys, our entire game is expensive.
Well, but the thing with Sass is it has to be replica attire.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't have Kydex. You can't have polymer stuff. You have to have leather or leather reproduction. No, Paul, you can't run your Uncle Mike's.
And the buckets that they use go back a ways. When Jeff Cooper and that, they used to have the slinging lead contest out in California, and they called them buckets. But the holster was made with leather on the inside, a sheet of steel, and then leather on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
And it held the gun, but that's all it did.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that gets expensive nowadays.
And if you want a quick draw rig for the quick draw contest, they got a lot of different setups, different cants, different openings. Gene, you'd have to clarify for me, but I want to say there's some sort of retention requirement for even for the fast draw. You can't just literally have a open piece of leather you drop the gun into.
Oh.
Now, here's the other catch for the fast draw competition. You actually have to shoot at a target.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Cox put a comment up. He's not into Sass, but he does do the lever action silhouette. Chickens, pigs, turkeys, and ram silhouette. Has to be rimmed ammo, fed from a tube. So that's strictly speaking, that's NRA metallic silhouette style.
Yeah. Way back, we actually had Evil Roy on to talk about Sass. Like, I think in the first 40 episodes. So. But I think that was one of those nights Jim couldn't make it.
Yeah, because I don't remember Evil Roy.
I remember the target that's made Evil Roy.
Mm-hmm. So, for those of you who don't know who Evil Roy is, you can Google him. But basically, he was the king of Sass for many years. His granddaughter is Randy Rogers, who does a lot of Sass herself. She got out of Sass and went into competition for a while. I believe she is actually. I want to say she's on Smith and Wesson with Julie Golub. I want to say she's an S&W shooter with Julie Golub, but I'm not sure. I know she is sponsored by one of the big firearm manufacturers in normal shooting competitions as well as Sass. So, but
If you want to see speed shooting or quick draw, look up Cisco. Cisco's incredible. And both my dad and I know a guy that builds a lot of those quick speed revolvers for those guys, and it's incredible how light a trigger, how smooth the timing is on it. It's just
basically, pick your favorite single action revolver. Mine is single 6, and it's reasonably smooth. But we're talking with them, you literally, basically, like 0.2 of an ounce on a trigger pull.
Holy jeez!
It's incredible.
Too sensitive for me. That's for.
And yeah, so basically, if you cock the gun and bump it, it can go off, type thing. But it's one round. It's not. There's no true projectile in it.
It's a wax bullet.
It's a wax bullet. So
they hurt like hell. Okay, just so you know.
How would you know that, Mr. Nelson?
He's probably been shot by one.
Yeah.
Several times?
Hell, he probably shot himself with one.
No, never shot myself with one, but got shot with one. So, yeah, they hurt like hell.
Well, yeah, they're still moving at 500 or 600 feet per second.
Yeah, they hurt like hell.
Sounds like me getting shot in the rear end with a BB gun years ago.
Worse.
That hurt like hell.
Worse.
Done that.
Who didn't do BB gun wars as a kid? Come on.
Yeah.
I own nothing to that statement.
See, that is why we were all glad. We were all glad that we grew up before the internet.
No, we're going to put a lie detector on your microphone, Sharenda.
I was an angel.
Bullshit.
Or as my nephew says, Lucifer was too.
Yes, he was.
There's a smart kid. No, I got to drink the old style up because it's not going to be. I'm not going to use it for my next round of brats because I'm going to smoke them again. So the key to drinking old style and other cheap beers, chug a lug, chug a lug.
After eating ice cream, I would say so. God, your taste buds must be screaming.
I went to public school in the '80s. I don't have taste buds.
Yeah,
I don't.
Beer and ice cream. I don't know if I could do that, dude.
I know I never would.
Well, see, the thing is the ice cream is so effing awesome that it washes away the crappiness of the beer. Hence, that is why I'm eating the ice cream while chug-lugging the beer. So.
Ooh, that's just downright heresy, Mike.
No, it's not. It's thinking. I was going to bring down pretzels and cheese, but I figured crunch, 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 crunch would be a bad idea.
Oh,
Sharp would go on strike for that.
Yeah, I would. So, so at some point in time, I'm going to get into Sass. Sean's actually going to do a show on Sass, I think, at some point in time. Not one of the main shows, but he's got those 2 offshoot shows that have got some really good information. There's quite a few. If you haven't been checking out the Firearms Radio Network lately, check them out. So, and now that I'm done with my storage disasters, well, for the most part anyway, I'm gonna hopefully be able to get caught up on editing too. So, because Sharp's backlogged with doing lovely remodels in his house. I said he should have just burned it to the ground and started over. With how much he's remodeling, for crying out loud.
It
Hello,
started
Miss-
with one.
Yeah. Hi, Mr. Madaw. I haven't seen you in a coon's age. Speaking of coons, damn it, I have coons in my backyard.
Shoot him.
Is it wrong to not want to have problems shooting the baby coons in the face because they're cute?
No.
Get rid of them.
I thought that too about them baby groundhogs I had.
Mm-hmm.
No.
So
Just shoot
You
them.
had, as in past tense.
Hey,
Surrender,
hey,
you didn't shoot a baby
no,
groundhog.
she trapped them and relocated them. The problem with Wisconsin strictly prohibits you from trapping and relocating such
Right.
vermin, and actually fines you and up to taking away certain hunting and fishing privileges.
Oh dang.
Illinois does the same thing.
So it's only if you get caught, but unfortunately I don't live above Highway 10, so it's kind of a problem.
Well, Surrender, you could relocate those groundhogs into a water-filled garbage can and then just throw them away with the trash, right?
She is not
No.
talking about how she relocated the groundhogs, Jim. Let it go.
Drop it. Never mind.
I mean,
Let it
somebody
go.
that thought that I was
Be like
being a horrible person for taking them out of their natural habitat, which was under my porch, may have got a couple of new house pets. Like, I'm not wasting breath. I'm not arguing with people.
No.
The petty in me just won't allow me to do it anymore. I'll
Mhm.
show you better than I can tell you. But we have armadillos here now, so I don't know what I'm going to do with that.
Good old tactical possums.
No, I actually want a couple so I can make some baskets, but
No, you don't want to touch and play
You
with
don't
them.
wanna
Nope,
touch 'em.
Nope.
Don't.
I
Nope.
don't. That's why I'm
Nope.
saying I don't want to. I know a guy
Okay.
that will.
Shrenda, to give you an idea, take some chicken. Right now, go get some chicken breast out of the fridge. Go put them out on your porch. Leave them there for 5 days, and then lick them.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I
That's
said
what-
I wanted the baskets, I didn't say I wanted to trap them, catch them, clean them, make the baskets.
So you can boil them for 3 hours to make them into baskets, and they're still going to have some on them.
Mm-mm.
You
mean not
cannot
getting rid of
you cannot get rid of all of the diseases that they carry. That's
Yeah.
why in
Leopards have been-
Texas
Yeah.
they shoot them and
Yeah.
burn them.
Oh, well, I don't
Never
know.
run
If,
them over.
Biggest of all of them.
They
I
don't
know if
bury
Kansas
them; they
City
burn
would
them.
do that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've seen people purposely running them over in the highways, especially the semis. It's like funny, but not funny at the same time. But I can't help but chuckle.
I have a problem with roadkill because they don't die ethically and humanely. That's my problem with roadkill.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand it happens, but intentionally is a whole different thing. Now,
I mean, you can tell it's intentional, but
if the
I'm
baby
not about-
coons don't leave, then yes, I'm going to have to shoot them. But they appear to be at that point where they're finally, because they usually stay in the shed until it's time to go, and then they came out and they started to leave. Now, if the parents show up, they're fair game.
it's on. I got a funny story for y'all after the show.
Okay. But yeah, right now I'm kind of really sick of walking in the backyard with my single six every time I take the dogs out. So.
What does Gracie do? She's not earning her keep around there.
I don't want Gracie to get a hold of a coon.
No. Do not want to.
No, I don't want my
Yeah.
dogs anywhere near coons.
Uh-oh.
In case you don't remember what coons can do to dogs,
The big veterinarian bills is what it is.
go read Where the Red Fern Grows Again.
Oh, okay. 'Cause I'm not a dog.
Dogs.
dog owner.
The only thing that you want, a dog can alert you to a raccoon. That's fine. Okay, when it's on a leash, then you take
Yeah.
the single six out. You do them in.
Mm-hmm.
But
No.
you get a dog that unless it's a coon dog that knows how to deal with raccoons, you don't want a normal dog going after a raccoon.
No.
Raccoon
No.
will tear up a dog.
Gracie would kill it, but whether she would survive, I'm not very confident. I know she would kill it, but I don't think she would survive.
Okay.
I don't even think Ollie would survive, and he's a 100 frickin' pound lab. Coons are so nasty. If they get dogs in water, they will frickin' stand on the dog's head and drown the dog.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Geese will do the same thing.
Yeah.
So
I know.
coons, their claws are basically like 5 razor blades.
Ew.
Yeah,
Well, I've never gotten that close to a live coon before.
On 4 feet. 5 claws on 4 feet.
Picture like mini bear claws.
Yep.
That's kind of a coon. They
Sure,
will rip.
the farm store I used to work at back in Illinois, we had a coon problem for a while, and some of the bags of feed are like super thick, like good a quarter inch to a half inch thick, just because it's so heavy. They don't want anything to get through it. A coon can take its paw and scrape right through that bag,
Oh, that kind of sharp.
and it's
Um,
it's like the braided bags. It's like weighty
Yeah.
bags.
The good gunny sacks.
Yeah,
Um,
it's incredible.
coons can rip through denim without a problem. And you know the heavy duty canvas tarp that they used to use for making out like tents and stuff.
They can go right through
Yeah.
those too.
They'll
Yeah.
go right through that. They can rip through leather.
Well, the
If
most dangerous creature I've ever come up close and wrestled with was a goose. Several geese during no geese season.
I had one on the golf course that came at us. I just reached out and slapped it right on top of the head. And all my buddies were like, leave it alone, it'll go away. I'm like, dude, it's not going away, it's coming after us. So I took 2 steps towards it, smacked it right on top of the head, and it went, and then turned around.
It gave you the nerve look.
Dude, I'd have choked out that goose.
Look, the ones in the parking lot here, I'm about ready to start slitting throats.
Yep, just bring machete.
Short hair number 1 was a good one for chasing geese.
Yeah.
Until they got her out into a pond.
Oh, yeah, that's no good.
And then the 2 of them started to surround the dog and watch the dog go down once, twice, and wife pushes me out into the water to go rescue dog.
Yep.
Gene, otters don't back down either. Got a funny story about that one day too.
Why are you grabbing injured raccoons, Bama Dad? Unless you're a wildlife recovery specialist, why are you grabbing injured raccoons?
Well, he's not very smart. He uses a staple gun. You can see the block in his.
That was another listener going by.
Yeah, Gene, the only thing with the coons, they won't back down if they don't have an option. If they have an option to escape, they'll take off. It's just like what Bama Dad said, don't confuse for fear. If you slam them against the ground, they will run. Oh, from coon hunting. That makes sense then.
Yep.
Yeah, and if you think something like an otter on land with no knees can't move that fast, yes, they can.
Oh, yeah.
So the only thing I can say, Jim, is at least it's your Achilles and not a shoulder. So that means you can still go to the range.
Yep.
Giddy up.
Well, he's doing good. He's got a dozen chucks already this spring.
Nice. Yeah, one nice thing about the new landlords is they're actually going to take that stupid ass shed down. So
there you go.
So that's the previous landlord wouldn't. So, but Unfortunately, it looks like with the housing market up here being as garbage as it is in my price range, probably going to be here another year. So, unless I win the lottery, then I can, moving on up to the east side like Nick.
Look, if I ever win the lottery, tell
Get my
y'all
own damn.
wives and Candy to don't ask no questions. Y'all get some serious vacation tickets in the mail. Come on, don't ask no questions.
Good one, Jim.
It's fucking cold here.
Only 3 things I am really afraid of in Alabama are mountain lions, moose, and bears. Honorable mention Wolverines. Oh, in America.
Hell, even a bear will back down from a wolverine.
Hey, Bama Dad, you should add badgers to that.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of difference between a badger or a wolverine, is there?
Badgers are a little chunkier.
Yeah.
And Wolverines are a little faster.
They're both meaner than hell.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The other difference is I've actually been up close and personal with a badger. At a zoo. And also in the prairie behind our school, we had a couple of badgers out there, and we were walking through, one of them came out of their hole, and I was about 2 feet from it, and it went, "No, I'm good," and back in its hole.
You're lucky.
No kidding. I was winding up to kick it. And unlike Charlie Brown, I actually made contact. So,
Lucy Van Pels on the air, huh?
Bama Dad, no, you cannot bite harder than a Wolverine. And your teeth aren't as sharp. So, well, this kind of went downhill once I showed up, didn't it?
Yep.
Told you you're a troublemaker.
Yes, I am. All right. That was my fault for bringing up the raccoons. And not very well. Haha, take that, Jim. So Jim Madaw said, Michigan is a Wolverine state, and the only ones we have play football. Not very well. Anyway, although they are getting better again. Damn it. So, anyway, on that note, anybody got any shout-outs?
I don't really have a shout. I just want to say, of course, today is the 79th anniversary of D-Day. So,
Yep.
Good one, Nick.
So, absolutely. Yeah. 79 years ago, men gave the ultimate sacrifice to storm the beaches. So,
how many men did we lose on D-Day? How many people died on the beach? You know?
Ooh, 7,000? I can check
I want to
it
say
real quick.
7,900 is the one that sticks into my head, but
yeah.
You got it, Nick?
Yep.
8,000
we were high.
bodies.
4,400 Allied soldiers were killed.
Is that just U.S. beaches, though?
Nope, that's all. That's all of the invasion. So, 4,400 died on June 6th. Another 25 of those were killed, and about 2,500 of those were Americans. So,
yep.
But
there's still some cemeteries over there in Normandy too, and they take the Normans take very good care of those.
They are very well manicured. It's you have I'm blank on the names of them right now. I just was listening to some stuff today about it. But it's
you can go to Google Maps and you can see. They've got some really good photos of the cemeteries. 79 years ago today, they stepped ashore to invade Fortress Europe.
God.
Yeah,
they were expecting somewhere around 40,000 casualties.
Yeah. Yeah, 40,000. They were anticipating 40,000 casualties on the first day. They were originally not expecting to get off the beach.
I started watching a YouTube video today. Some of the only uh, footage, live video footage that was filmed on D-Day. The cameraman got injured himself.
Hmm.
Kept filming till he could be evacuated like the next day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Another thing, if anybody has an hour, hour and a half to waste, I actually listened to it today. So the National World War II Museum in New Orleans did a kind of a presentation, and they had a guest speaker by the name of John Bellavio, who's a Medal of Honor recipient from the only living Medal of Honor recipient from the war in Iraq. And he did a speech today, and it's incredible what he said. It's worth a watch. And then of course they had a gentleman's son-in-law talk about the 30 or was it the 29th, I think? Yeah, 29th Infantry Division. His father-in-law went ashore, 29th, during the invasion, and out of the 32 guys on his Higgins boat, 2 survived.
Yeah.
And he got injured 5 times. It's an incredible. It just some of the sacrifices that those men gave. So
a couple of ways to get just a small peek behind what the hell they went through. Saving Private Ryan is probably the best movie, and that's extremely tame. I mean,
so it actually, I'm glad you said that, Mike. So the gentleman that the son-in-law during this presentation, his father-in-law made audio recordings and left it for Stephen Ambrose, who was a professor there in New Orleans.
Yeah.
And that's how he was able to do Saving Private Ryan, basically all off of this guy's word of mouth.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how he got that started. So
Bama Dad said the other way I've gotten one of the Call of Duty games, you Storm Normandy, the World War II, Call of Duty World War II, you Storm Normandy, and even on the easiest setting, I died 72 times just trying to get out of the frickin' boat. Right? I'm not kidding.
I know.
72 times trying to just get out of the frickin' boat on the easy setting. I had it on medium to begin with, and just I'm like, I'm going to switch to easy because I just wanted to get on. I wanted to get on shore, and so I switched to easy. After I switched it to easy, they make you restart the level, and literally, but by the time I hit the base of the wall where I could use the Bangalores on the barbed wire, 272 deaths.
it's just insane.
How they made it off the beach is only God.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly,
and literally.
Yeah.
Some of the beaches weren't as bad as.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I mean, Omaha and Utah
Sword was pretty relatively easy for them. Omaha and Utah were the worst. And then, of course, Point de Hawk with the Rangers. What they had to literally vertically climb a hill while taking gunfire and grenades.
It was a cliff. It wasn't a hill. It was a
vertical cliff.
Yeah.
With ropes.
You get to do that. You get to do that in this game. So you're literally you stand at the base with the grappling gun. You're trying to shoot the grappling gun up while I think there's 6 Germans with MP40s literally leaning over the cliff shooting down at you.
The bad thing about Point de Hawk, they didn't have to do that. The guns weren't in place. That's the bad thing.
No, but they didn't find out until after.
Yeah.
Until they got up there. Yep. And there's a channel I've actually listened to. It's called World War II TV, and they did today and yesterday 24 hours. They took you hour by hour during the invasion.
The lead up and the invasion.
Was that Indy?
They did it from zero. Yeah, Indy Idell and them. They did it from 0 hours to 24 hours. Every hour they do hour videos, and it's just incredible. I've gotten through I think 6 so far, and it's just. And then they've done some cool parts. They've gone to the battlefield scenes, and they talk to one of the guys who also does another channel, a World War II channel, and just they talk about the different. It's just it's going to be my once in a lifetime trip. So that's the plan next year. Knock on wood. Hopefully, I'll be there next year for the 80th.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I have played all of the Call of Duty games, and there's some messed up stuff you do in some of those games, but damn, that was probably the hardest.
Yeah, I'm still on punishment from Call of Duty.
Why?
We used to have a weekly tournament online with the nephews, and one of my nephew's girlfriends was jealous for whatever reason, and he may not have had his headphones on as I shared my true opinion about her insecure, selfish, bratty behind, and maybe he should cough it up a few times and ask her if he could borrow his genitalia back so he can play for 4 hours. Because it's not like he's cheating on her with family on an online game, and
Oops.
yeah. I was pretty good, and it may have been a couple of times I was mad at the other one where I turned around and was trying to do friendly fire on him in the game. Weak yelling weakest links, and yeah,
Yep.
it was bad.
So, yeah, I mean, if you get a chance, watch Saving Private Ryan. For what it was, honestly, The Longest Day is pretty good.
that's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Even though there's a lot of things. Being a big history buff, I critique.
Oh my god,
but
yeah. I mean, there's so many things there that are wrong.
the airborne patch, the 82nd airborne patch is just way too big.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
just-
but a lot of the stuff that's wrong in there is the trivial crap.
yeah.
The actual combat stuff is pretty.
But thing is, so John Wayne's character in the movie is based on an actual general.
Yeah.
That landed, and he actually did break his leg falling, and they used a handy cart to pull him around. That is the absolute dead truth.
And same with the paratroopers that landed.
Yep.
The one that gets stuck on the clock on the church tower.
Wrong side.
Yeah.
He's on the wrong side.
He's on the wrong side of the tower, but I mean, from real life. But still, he got stuck on the tower, and they smoked.
He got
him.
shot. Yeah.
The Germans were smoking the paratroopers as they were coming down.
The British soldier that was on the beach directing traffic with the bulldog and had the shillelagh.
Yep.
That's based on a real character too, and that shillelagh is the one that was actually used on the landing.
Yeah.
The original guy loaned him the act of the shillelagh to do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
He waited ashore playing bagpipes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's crazy.
Well, and there's another cool thing. I've been watching all week leading up to it this week online, and they've gotten a lot of heavy rains this last week over in Normandy. So it looked just like it would have with the Germans flooding the fields.
Oh, okay.
I got chills just seeing that. Jeeps driving through these big puddles. It's like, okay, 79 years ago, this is how it would have looked.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just.
I used to work with a guy. This is 20-some years ago. He was a Marine that did the beach landing on Guadalcanal, and how he felt about that. And I've never talked to anybody who did the Normandy landing. I can just imagine how it scarred them for the rest of their life too, if they survived it.
Oh, Guadal was horrible.
Yeah. So
and the problem is
Guadal
nobody ever
wasn't
talks
actually.
about Guadal.
Guadalcanal wasn't because they landed with no fire on them. Actually,
no, I'm not
But
talking about. I'm not talking about the landing. I'm talking about the whole entire battle.
Oh yeah, once I got in the jungle.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alligator Creek, all of those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's where Basilone won his first Medal of Honor.
Anybody goes through that kind of combat, they're gonna. We owe them a lot. So.
Yep. So. And we've got other big days that are coming up here in the next couple of months. So, but there's not many left. So, if you know somebody from the greatest generation, try and get their story.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them won't talk about it, and never would. So,
I will tell you, most state libraries have got videos you can watch where they've had special days and had people come tell their story. So if you go to your state library, you can download those videos.
Yep. So, all right, gang. let's wrap this up.
Good.
So, just another shout out to For Patriots and Jake and Ryan over at Patriot Patch Company for being sponsors. Thanks to everybody for covering while I was gone. It sounded like it was a good show. So, thanks again to everybody, whether they were on the beach or they were part of the support for what they did 79 years ago. I shudder to think what the world would be like if they didn't have the courage and the intestinal fortitude to do that. So, and what needed to be done after. So, and for all those in the Pacific, which seem to be forgotten about a lot. It seems like a lot of the time when you talk about World War II, they talk about Europe but not Pacific as much. So, but
there's a reason why they call it World War.
Mm-hmm. So
the damn war encircled the globe.
Yep.
There's a good podcast out there that's the unauthorized history of the Pacific War.
I'll have to look it up. Right now, I'm listening to a guy, and I don't have my podcast phone with me, but there's a guy that literally is going through the entire World War II. So
I'm trying to think what that would be.
but it's World War II podcast or something like that.
Oh yeah. He's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. So, but on that note, gang, keep your brass shiny.
Jump on the Millsip short bus.
Teach a lady how to reload, and then let her pinch off your stash just a little bit. It's still rough out here.
Teach them shoot and reload when they're young.
Grandpa told me not to listen to my mama because violence does solve problems.
Support the Second Amendment forever. Bring new shooters into the fold. Like I told Shrenda earlier tonight when you were still off air, she's wanting to bring 5 new lady shooters to Appleseed. That could multiply into 25 new shooters.
Easily. So, and if you're struggling, 1-800-273-8255 or 988 from your cellular device, reach out, get some help. It's the strength. So it's a sign of strength to reach out and get the help you need. So, thanks.
Good night, y'all.
Real quick, Jim.